There are shows in this world that we will never fully understand, except Ghost Adventures. We have watched every episode to build our obsession, our fandom.
Watching alongside each other because no one we know really gives a damn. Watching Zach and crew catch groundbreaking proof of the paranormal, inspiring us to explore our own interest in otherworldly phenomena. This is our podcast. We are Paranormal Putas.
It's me, Leah.
And it's me, Bethany.
And we're the Paranormal Putas. Woo, everybody. And we're coming at ya with another GA review for you.
Hell yeah, we are. This time we're going to Virginia City, Nevada. So this is going to be Ghost Adventures Season 6, Episode 6. 666. And it is actually their return to Virginia City, and this episode aired in 2011.
That's right. The guys have been in Virginia City. They've been in Virginia City. Anyways, this is not the first time the guys have been to Virginia City.
Big sister, tell me, when did they go?
I'd be happy to. They'd been once before in 2009 for an investigation, but that's not all. In 2004, they were first there to film their documentary that kicked it all off.
Yep, that kicked off the whole shebang. They were such little babies.
Just little babies.
Cute little round-faced babies. So
and
fresh.
I love this. What's that? Like 9 years later, they've been to this place 3 times, and they just can't get enough.
Just can't get enough. So, big sister, tell me, what is so poppin' in Virginia? God damn it. Okay. Big sister, why is Virginia City so poppin'?
I'm so glad you asked. I can sum that up in one word: mining.
We're killing it.
To mine in the 1800s meant to die. So unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives in Virginia City. And because it was such a big mining town, there was a big boom there. So high population, a lot of people coming, trying to collect all they could. So, gunfights, diseases, all types of fun stuff in the Wild West in the 1800s.
Exactly. So this was actually in 1859, and Virginia City developed as a boom town at this time, at the discovery of some first major silver deposit. The population peaked in the mid 1870s with an estimated 25,000 residents, but I think it was like 1862 it was at like 4,000 people, and then in 1863 we had 15,000 people in Virginia City. So that little silver deposit really popped off the city.
Wild,
people
man.
really coming through. But like Leah said, there was lots of people shooting each other and sickness. And yeah, so, they eventually built a psych ward called St. Mary's Hospital.
I think there was a little bit more to St. Mary's than that, but
Yes,
you
there
are
is.
correct. The psych ward was located on the top floor, but again, it's where everyone went. If you were hurt in this area, you went to St. Mary's. It was the functioning hospital for upwards of 80 years.
Was it built in 1876?
Yes, it was. It was built in 1876. So the guys, and I think one of the things like early on in the investigation the pre-investigation, we see Billy Tully, he pops up, but they bring up St. Mary's because Billy apparently was there back in 2009 where he did his own little investigation, left his EMF recorder in the location, he left his EVP recorder in the location, and he captured like some boots and a cowboy singing a little ditty, and so Billy's back with the guys to reinvestigate because he himself has some evidence.
And that was fun to see Billy's evidence because, yeah, that little ghost guy was scooting and boogieing.
That is true. That is true. We spend a lot of time talking about all the people that died in St. Mary's Hospital, to the point where Zach feels it necessary to bring up kind of where these folks were even buried, and pointing out they were basically taken from St. Mary's to right behind St. Mary's, and buried there. So he talks a little bit about the land and people being, and maybe that's why it's a little bit haunted.
Yeah, and of course, per usual, they relocate the cemetery and they move the headstones and not half the bodies. Typical. This always fucking happens.
It's just
bro.
cheaper.
They're just like, fuck you, we're taking these tombstones. Like, it's just wild.
Yeah, be happy we took the stones, I guess.
Sidetrack, side note, side thought.
Let's hear it.
If you were to try to exhume the bodies, it might be really hard because the land shifts and bodies slide around. So, like, you really wouldn't actually know who's who and who's where.
That's true too. Yeah, because the hospital was around for a long time. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that all the time.
Yeah,
like
they'd be
bodies
sliding
like,
around.
Yeah,
And
anytime
then,
I
like,
drive
the
by a
whole-
cemetery, I'm like, oh, driving over bodies.
Well, nowadays they do like a whole like concrete box layer or whatever.
yeah.
But I don't know. We need to get a mortician on here and talk to us about the funeral director. That might be a possibility. Anyways, reeling it back into
Let's bring it
Virginia
in.
City.
The guys are hanging out at St. Mary's, and I did not capture the name of the young woman that Zach is talking to.
Oh, the blonde lady?
Yes, the blonde lady. But she was basically just giving them a little bit of insight on the history, and Zach was just kind of bouncing off of the information he was getting from her. But there's a point I'm going to call out in the pre-investigation. Zach was like, why did he bring up calling 911? I think because she said one night she almost called 911 due to the sounds that she was hearing in the
it
building.
was just such an intense haunting.
Right. So she almost called 911. She was like, it was like 2:30 in the morning. I almost called 911.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zach was like, well, I almost called 911 the other day because I felt someone pull me by my ankles in my own home. And then it was funny because then they show Zach's Twitter account back from 2011, and it shows the tweet that he posted about getting pulled by his ankles. And I think it was great because Bethany made the comment, I remember that.
Yeah, I did. I remember when that happened. I remember when he was tweeting about that.
You know, anytime I see Zach's Twitter, you know what I think. Getting blocked.
But
by
how you
Zach.
got blocked. We don't know why or how this happened, but if
No.
you don't know, Leah was blocked from Twitter by Zach Bagans back in like the early, mid 2000s, like 2010s.
Yeah, like around this time frame.
And
I
we
don't
have
know.
no idea why. Like
Yeah.
she tweeted him once.
And he said, blocked.
And he fucking blocked her.
Zach, let me know what I did. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Please.
that shit was funny.
That shit was hilarious. I was like, I can't believe I got blocked by Zach.
Yeah, she
Bagans.
texted. She's like, I just got blocked by Zach Bagans. That should be our new button. I got blocked by Zach Bagans.
My memoir. Anyways, good stuff.
But yeah, so that woman actually, I wrote that down too because she said it was 2:37 a.m. and she heard women having conversations and the doorknob being turned.
Ah, okay. All right. Good stuff. I should have left that bit to you. You had all the deets.
No worries.
The other thing I have here in regards to St. Mary's, I don't think is right information. It's in regards to the priest that passed away. Zach says that he's connected to St. Mary's and then mentioned that he was found in the basement with a gunshot wound. But then he mentions this at the pestilence house, that being the location where the priest was found or his body was found. So I don't know how or remember how the pestilence house and St. Mary's are connected, or if they're just like right next to each other. Maybe that could be what this is. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, they were investigating like this whole general area. In that stuff with the priest, he said like they don't really like to talk about it. And it's like, why though?
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff. Oh, and then he said that that one guy in the bowler hat that they were talking to.
Okay.
He said that 2 people had died that were in a fire, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so one of them was a guy who was like sick and he asked for a Bible and a candle, and he started that fire.
Yeah, he set the Bible on fire.
Yeah, he set the Bible on fire, and then boof, there goes the building. But people died, and they said that those are two of the more prominent spirits.
Yes. And then I think that leads us to, like I mentioned, the pestilence house, which was apparently used as the morgue for St. Mary's. So there's our connection there. And I believe at this location, this is where we meet Paula Burris, who was the Native American from the area that Zach met with, and just has a conversation with her. He goes into, like, you know, wanting to connect with people from the land. And so we talk to Paula.
And she plays a flute.
And she plays her flute. But
And
that's
then
really
Mother
kind of it.
Nature roars.
That is my note. Mother Nature roars. So as Zach and Paula are walking away from each other, it's the end of their interview. A big thunder roll happens, and Zach's like, "Whoa, let's just wait," you know. But
Oh yeah, we have a great quote for that moment. So remember that moment. Put
Mother
it in your
Nature
back
roars.
pocket.
Hold on tight.
Hold on tight.
We stopped by the Washoe Club, I think, as well.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun because the guys were talking about how, like, right when you walk in, it's like boom, poster of them, and it's all signed,
yeah.
and they gave out memorabilia, and it was also very cute.
It was
And
awesome.
Zach has his little white shirt in there, which again, put that in your back pocket as well. We have some really good quotes coming later.
Yeah, that's good. And then they meet a little kid by the name Alex, and
Cute.
he has like his little EVP or EMF detector, and he's all excited. He's like, "Oh, let me show you where I saw the orbs." So he takes Zach and like runs around the Washoe Club with him and tells him, "Oh, I saw an orb, and oh, I got chills." And Zach's like, "Ha, ha, like, oh, this is the best thing ever," you know, little investigator. And the guys are just like eating the shit up. It was great though. It was really cute.
It was adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing like the sparkle in Zach's eye, seeing like a little child be a ghost hunter. He was like, he was so tickled.
The next gen, he's like,
Yeah.
this is my doing. So that was really good. But that's really all that I got at the Washoe Club pre-investigation. And then I think that leads us to the Silver Queen. And there, it's just kind of a call out. This is where the guys captured their first piece of paranormal evidence, like ever. So back when they were doing their documentary, they're hanging out in room 11, and this is where they capture their first piece. So they relive that moment, and that's really what a lot of this pre-investigation is. The guys are just reliving everything that's taken place in 2004, 2009. So that's what we get a lot of.
Yeah, and then of course Zach calling out room 11 where Rosie, a woman named Rosie, who was reportedly a prostitute, had taken her own life in the bathtub. Yeah. And Zach, sat in that bathtub.
He did. Oh God, Zach. God dang.
We're not going to go into
We'll talk
it.
about that. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So anyways, overall, in this one episode, there are 3 locations the guys are scouting. So just to make that clear, location 1 is St. Mary's Art Center. Location 2 is the Silver Queen Hotel. And location 3 is the Miners' Cabin.
That's right. And that's it for the pre-investigation, baby.
Oh!
So you know what I mean.
Honorable haunts and
Skimpy scares! Most excellent.
I think we did it. I think we did it. We made it. We made it, everybody.
And you have way more than me.
I have a skimpy and a skimpy honorable. Do you have any skimpies?
I think my skimpy was pretty much the same as you, but you had already written it down and it was your second one.
Okay, all right. Well then, the first skimpy of the investigation is the guys bring Billy into the fold, and they're in St. Mary's, I believe, and it's 4 levels to the hospital. They each take a level and conduct an investigation. They do like EVPs, and they're trying to have a conversation and record. They do this for 2 fucking hours and nothing happens. So in this scene of the show, it's just like fast motion, and they're just there like because like nothing's fucking happening. So skimpy as all hell, waste of time.
Yeah.
Kind of a bummer because Billy was there and they didn't really get anything. So womp womps, skimpy.
Yeah, big time.
And then after that, I got a skimpy honorable, and that is Zach is in room 11. This is at their second location. Or actually, they start the investigation separated. Zach is at the hotel, and Aaron and Nick are at the miners' quarters, or whatever they refer to it as.
The miners' cabins.
The miners' cabins. So Zach's in room 11 where the Rosie incident took place. And this one was skimpy honorable to me because he gets high spikes, and he says he can feel the energy fluctuating. But when it comes to feelings and things like that, we want audio, we want visual as a viewer of the show. So again, skimpy right there.
But then that leads into an honorable, really.
It does. But we'll get to that right now with honorables. You want to kick off? Or?
Yeah, sure. So in that room with the millimeter, Zach, okay, it's like, I mean, you know, of course it's edited, but like right when he gets in that room, we see an orb like fly across the screen, and me and Leah immediately were like, oh my god, there's an orb. But they don't really call it out until way later. So Zach's in there, the orb flies, and then you see the millimeter pop off, and Zach is talking about the millimeter, and then Billy's like, hey man, before you notice the millimeter, there was an orb. And then they finally kind of talked about that orb, and that was really fun, of course, to be like, hey, there's a thing, and then they verify that you saw it. Like, that was fun. It was just fun.
Yeah, no, it was a good call for sure. Yeah, we got pumped when we saw the orb. We're like, hell yeah, baby. And we knew it wasn't dust based on the characteristics and how it flew. And,
exactly.
And Zach confirmed that later, and I was like, honorable. So yes, I agree. That was one of the first honorables. One of my first notes was really early on when they show Aaron and Nick at their location, and Aaron just kind of goes into the tech that they're using. So for them to be using REM pods, EMF pumps, they really worked on creating a vortex in the miners' cabins to recreate or to get, of course, evidence of the miners in the area. So that was just really cool, that the effort that they put in to do that.
Yeah, and I actually had a note on that too. I put little BB hub because they have like the little 2 TVs and Tully. I put 2 TVs and a Tully.
That's all you need, baby.
Because again, like he's still kind of new and still coming into the fold, and like they're barely getting into having like a hub, you know, so it's just really fun to see it coming together. But yeah, those 2 little like CRT TVs, they were so cute. And then Billy there with his little walkie-talkie.
Yeah, Zach, I saw something. It was so great, so great.
So yeah, that was cute. To me, that was honorable.
So before one of my honorables, I did make a note because I remember there's a like if you're on TikTok and you like Ghost Adventures, then maybe you've seen this clip, because it's Zach in the documentary. God, Zach, he's not aware, man. He just doesn't know what he's really doing, you know? And so in the documentary, he sits in the bathtub where Rosie apparently sat and took her life, and he mocks that, right? He gestures as if he's committing the act himself. He goes, oh, look at me. I'm doing what you did. And, you know, he's being a real fucking jerk about it. And that was in 2004. Cut to this investigation in 2011. And Zach sits there and he's like, I want to apologize because I was just like a real fucking jerk. And I just wanted to call that out because that happened during the investigation. So when he goes back into that room, he kind of goes in with his tail between his legs like, maybe I've learned some lessons and maybe I've seen some shit. So Zach kind of humbles himself. And to me, that's honorable.
Yeah, I love seeing his growth. And again, that's one of the reasons we wanted to do this was you get to see them be such assholes. And then over time, they do learn what they're doing because they didn't know.
Yeah.
And they fucked around and found out, you know. And now we're seeing that happen. Like, we're seeing the finding out part. Like, the fucking around has been happening for 6 years. The finding out is just starting.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Zach is getting pulled at home out of his bed. You know, he's coming into places with more respect, you know, so, and I love seeing that growth, and it only gets better, juicier.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, and then I think for me after that, like a true honorable in regards to the investigation was Zach uses the spirit box in room 11 and he captures some audio of first the name Lynette, and then second he asks, like, do you know what city we're in? And we do clearly hear Virginia. So it was like, whoa, which the whole time time I was thinking, meet Virginia.
Yeah.
You remember that song?
Oh, yeah, I do.
All right.
So I feel like a lot of the good stuff really happened in room 11 with Zach, because I did have that honorable, but I also had one of a female moaning.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some EVP of a female moaning in that room 11.
Yes, and to continue what was happening in room 11, Zach asked, what room are we in? And we hear 11. So intelligent responses like a mug.
Which leads into both of our next honorables, which is an EVP. What was Zach asking, big sister?
Oh God, Zach was asking, what did you hurt yourself in, right? When you took your life, what were you in?
Looking for bathtub or something of that notion. But we get an EVP, or it's actually from the spirit box, and it says water. And the way it says water is so like, water, like it's coming. Like you could hear it in the voice of like the spirit of like, water's coming. It's all I see. And that was fucking weird.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. And Zach's like, whoa, we heard water. So it was really, everyone was getting hyped. Everyone was getting hyped. After that, we do actually get something, in my opinion, with Aaron and Nick. They're in the cabins, and it's so funny because this is when Nick's kind of coughing. Nick is sick. Nick like is this whole episode, Nick is sick.
100.7 degree fever.
And Nick is like,
he's fucking dying and nobody cares.
Nobody gives a
Poor
shit.
Nick.
So he's sitting there coughing, and Aaron's like, "Did you hear that? Be quiet!" Like,
yeah, he's like, "Shh, shh, did you hear that?" And Nick is like, "I heard it." Just dying.
But when they play it back, the guys in fact did hear some boot steps. Their EMF reader goes off and the alarm sounds, and then we capture some boot steps. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, no. I mean, and you can hear it live too. Like when it's happening while Nick is like coughing, you can hear the stuff happening.
Yeah.
So it was a really good, like, loud EVP. It was just like Aaron going like, shh, Nick's dying with 100-degree fever. It's just really fucked up, you know? It's just real fucked up.
Look, we got ghosts to hunt, baby. You can die another day. But today we hunt ghosts.
Do you want to do your next one?
Sure. So this one, Zach is scanning the room. So I believe they're all together at this point. They're in St. Mary's Hospital, and Zach is scanning one of the rooms. And as he opens the door, he sees like a mist go behind a chair, and the Mel meter goes off. So you have this technology response to correlate with the mist passing, and he kind of calls it out. We spent some time looking at it because he wants to prove to the viewer that it is something paranormal. So he's like, this isn't a light. It's not reflective. You can see how it moves from behind the chair to in front of the chair and then through the chair. So he's like, light wouldn't do that in that way. So we spend a couple minutes, we spend probably like a minute looking at that single piece of evidence. And it was pretty honorable.
Yeah, man. And that millimeter was really popping off. Like we got up to like a 0.6 on that thing. And even on the stairs, that was my last one, was like kind of in that same time. Yeah. Like it was really close together, but like he got like mist in the stairs and the millimeter popped off.
Yeah. And that was good too, because I think he even said for the stairs one, like, he goes, nobody would believe him unless the millimeter didn't go off. Like, he's like, so he was glad that the technology responded to it because it happened so quickly in front of his eyes. So it was pretty cool. And the last one I have is another EVP. They're asking about the iron bars on the windows, and they get a response that says, they're iron strips. Iron strips. And that really wrapped up the honorables of those locations.
Yeah, bro, we're like blazing through this. This episode was like butter. Dude, so quick.
Watching it, like we finished watching it, and I was like, that went too fucking fast. And like, so we knew this recording was gonna go just as fucking fast. We really mirror the energy of the episodes.
Yeah,
that we watch.
When we do, when we do these rewatch episodes, we really do mirror that energy.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like that makes sense because we're sitting with it for an hour, and then we're openly digesting it and processing it. So I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah. So when they're low, just know the episode's low. When they're quick, baby, ha ha! We rolling.
Let's go.
Zach's fashion for us.
I love that it cuts off at that like woman. So let's get into it, bro. This was a fucking fire episode, bro. This shit was good.
Bethany rushed to the fashion for
I was surprised that you were
page.
still writing background history.
I was.
When that outfit hit the screen. I just could not fathom.
I don't think I processed like what was happening with the fashions right away. And then I read Bethany's note and then I looked and I was like, whoa. So you got to tell them.
So this was a fabulous shirt, long sleeve, button up, embroidered back of guns, like crossing, and some roses.
Yes.
And then on the front, like above, like a pen pocket type situation, like kind of in that area.
Yeah.
It said, what was it, like Red Spirit?
I think so, yeah, Red Spirit.
That's
or
what
Red
we.
Rose or something.
It was something. It was something Spirit. But we couldn't make out that first word, but I think it was like Red Spirit. Either way, it was fucking amazing.
Dude.
Top notch. And then he had like the wrist cuff rolled up and there was like an interior design as well. Like, what is it called? What is that called?
I don't know. Like the cuff,
not just like having another pattern inside of
like it was reversible or something.
I don't know. Either way, the wrist cuff had like flowers.
Yeah, it did. It had more roses. It was very Guns N' Roses all over the fucking shirt. It was amazing. And it had like this black on black design. So like it was like a cotton shirt button down with like a pleathery kind of black design on it. So when he moved just right and the light caught it, it shimmered a little bit with the rose cuffs and the dude, it was intense.
It was
bro.
amazing. Like we've been talking about this shirt for like a minute and you still don't understand. But then he topped it off with a black fucking cowboy hat. And it was amazing.
So good.
In my notes, so I wrote this. So he's standing at the entrance of the Silver, what is it? The
Silver Queen.
The Silver Queen Hotel. And he's in between two older guys who are dressed up in like 1860s garb, you know, like with their little guns all Western and shit. And Zach is standing in between them. And I wrote, Zach in cowboy hat with two old guys. Obviously accessories themselves. So the old guys, I think, were accessories to Zach's look, because he was just like, the way he was standing near them, I was like, oh man, they are his accessories right now. And I don't think they realized that, but you know what, that's fine.
It's okay. Yeah, no, Zach was all over those dude in their apparel,
their
guns.
Great.
Yeah,
their 44 caliber guns.
Oh God, what was that
the priest
guy's
with
name?
the pistol?
Yes, the priest with the pistol packing priest.
Yeah, pistol packing priest. Pistol packing priest.
That's what we're gonna practice with on the next episode.
Pistol packing priest. Pistol packing priest.
Pistol packing priest.
Pistol packing priest.
Pistol packing priest.
Pistol packing priest.
Pistol packing priest.
I think we got it.
Let's rock, baby. But that's it. That's it for the fashions.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately.
So let's roll.
Zany Zaddy says,
What? Holy shit.
you know, this is my favorite segment.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
But would you like to kick us off?
I
Big
was going to
sister?
say, I know you want to read the second one. So.
Oh, no, I don't care, actually. You can pick whatever one you want.
No. I'm totally going to kick us off because you got it on the second one. So one of the first Zany Zaddies that we got is actually pre-investigation, and Zach is just kind of talking about how your bodies can be conductors during investigations.
Or like tools to pick up and
right.
feel.
Exactly. So we're having that conversation, and Zach goes,
It's not so much what you're experiencing, but what your body is experiencing.
and I tell you what, I want to experience that body.
That's why you wanted to do the first one. This bitch. Trying to make it sound like it was about me. I should have known.
Take it away.
This one was really fun. So this one, again, we said, remember that moment with Paula when she was, using her little flute and talking to Mother Nature, and nature roared and rumbled? Well, Zach said,
Sometimes you gotta be quiet. Listen to Mother Nature. It's like a language.
and that was so good. We had to rewind it. It was so juicy.
Yes.
I was like, no, we got to get that one exact. Because Leo was like, he said it's like a language. I was like, no, go back, Faith.
Rewind. But sometimes it be like that, y'all.
It was great. That was seriously beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, no,
Zach is a poet. I'm telling you. Every time we do this, Zach's a poet.
But speaking of remembering things pre-investigation, Bethany told y'all to remember that Zach mentioned how they had memorabilia at the Old Washoe Club. Some of that including what they wore in their 2004 documentary, and Zach being his white T-shirt. So Zach says when they're there,
Check it out. I even used to wear white. Look at me.
silly guy.
So the next the next Zaddy says that I wrote, I don't know why. I just thought it was kind of funny how he was like talking to Rosie, the spirit in room 11. And he was talking about, her attempt on her own life. And he was like,
But you can come to us and talk to us.
and he said,
You can still feel loved.
he obviously feels guilty. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, he brought flowers.
Yeah, he
was
did.
really
Respectful, yeah.
being respectful to Rosie and tried to make up, I think, for 2004 for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the next ones we have, I think, are Aaron and Nick. Really. So,
Oh yeah.
this one here is Aaron talking to Nick, I believe.
Yes.
And they're in the miners' cabins, and Aaron, it's just fucking funny. So the next ones we have are really just kind of Aaron and Nick, but it just kind of sounded funny because this one's between Aaron and Nick says,
they're in
yes, they're in the miners' cabin, and Nick says, like they're getting kind of hyped about things and
about evidence, right?
Evidence,
It was like the way they
yeah.
captured some evidence.
Yeah, and then Nick goes,
It almost carries luminescence, Aaron. Like, oh my god. Oh my god, don't you see luminescence, Aaron?
Luminescence.
Jesus.
And I don't know why. If we just found that funny at the time. I don't know. Maybe it's the way he says in the episode, you got to watch it to find out. But then, of course, I had to write this one down. So later on, because weird shit's going down and everything is not normal, Aaron says,
Everything's normal. Captain's log.
because what's happening is Zach is like logging everything that's happening, as he always does throughout the investigation. He's like, this is happening. And Aaron was like,
I feel like we're doing a captain's log. Everything's normal. Captain's log.
I was like, oh my god,
I knew you were gonna write that one down. I was like, oh god, a Trekkie reference.
I can't not point out nerdy references. Okay.
No, I can respect, Braj. I can respect, but dude, can you believe it? That's the history, that's the haunts, that's the fashions, that's the zaddies. It's time to rate this baby.
Yeah, broski. What are you thinking?
Oh, Virginia City, I'm gonna give
Virginia City.
like a 2.5.
Virginia City.
I'm leaning between 2.5 and 3.
Me too. Yeah, me too. Let's go 2.75.
Ooh, okay, yeah, I'll meet you in the middle. All
2 claws and 2 knuckles.
right. 2 claws and a quarter knuckle.
Oh man, yeah. No, it was a good episode. Like it was a weird one.
Yeah, it was weird. It was quick paced. It
was quick. It was entertaining.
Yes.
But there wasn't like a ton of shit caught.
Yeah.
But what was caught was pretty all right.
Good, yeah.
Nothing like super insane, but pretty all right.
Yeah. The place is haunted. So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got more of these to do, so let's cleanse this baby down so we can keep it going.
Let's do.
Omni rigere suminaro. Omni Regair Summoner!
Take a big deep breath in. Let that baby out. You're cleansed.
You said deep so fast, no, I sounded like you said take a big deep breath, dick breath in.
I'll redo it.
That's hilarious. I'm probably the only one who heard that, so it's okay.
What else? Believe it. We're the parent. I'm gonna put this. Believe it. Anyways, you're cleansed, big sister. You're fucking cleansed.
I feel it. It was that big dick breath.
I need to get out of here. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. We hope to see you again. Per usual, I'm Bethany.
And I'm Leah.
And we're signing off with 2 besitos.
From these patitos. Let's rock.
The jelly clock.